blocks from the 8051 microcontrollers. Till now we have discussed each and every block in detail. Okay, just go through it. Next important concept is memory organization. How memory is organized in 8051 microcontroller. So we'll discuss the memory organization. So first of all, the on-chip memory is partitioned into the data memory and program memory. As we know, 8051 microcontroller is having separate memory spaces for program and the code. So the on-chip memory is partitioned into data memory and program memory. The data memory is readable or writable, and it is accessed by 8-bit address, which can be quickly read or written by microcontroller. If the data memory requires more to 8-bit address, then DPTR register is used to address the same. The program memory is only read to the microcontroller. So what we have understood, the data memory is read and writable memory, whereas the program memory is only readable memory, and the DPTR register is used to address the data memory. Okay, so this is the on-chip data memory organization. So this figure shows the on-chip data memory organization. So in this, it starts from 00H to 7FH. In that, first 00 to 07H is reserved by register bank 0. From 08 to 0F is used by register bank 1. 10 to 17 is reserved for bank 2. 18 to 1F is used by bank 3. 20 and 2F is reserved by bit addressable RAM, which is having 128 bits address, and the remaining, that is from 30 to 7FH, is used as a scratchpad RAM. So what is scratchpad RAM? It contains the 80 general purpose registers. So this is the on-chip data memory organization, or this figure is referred as a RAM allocation of 8051, because data memory is nothing but the random access memory, which is readable and writable memory. So as we know, each bank has 8 RAM locations denoted as R0 to R7, and total 4 banks registers are there. So there are total 4 by 8. It means it has total 32 memory locations. Now if programmer does not want to use memory bank, then all 32 locations can be used as a scratchpad or general purpose RAM. So as we already discussed what is register bank and how many register banks are used by 8051 microcontroller, and what are the different address spaces reserved by each and every bank, we have already discussed. So we'll skip this. Yeah, next one is register set. So as we know, each register bank is having total 8 number of register set starting from R0 to R7. So register set, it is a group of 8 register: R0, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6 and R7, and the address of register depend on the selection of register bank in PSW. For example, if RS0 is 0, RS1 is 0, then we already know that the microcontroller will select the bank 0 for this values. Then it automatically assigns to each register of register bank. If register bank 0 is selected, it means that the address reserved by bank 0 is from 00H to 07H. That's why the register R0 will assign 00H address, R1 will assign 01H address, likewise R7 will assign a 07H address. So what is the advantage of register bank? First advantage is that it facilitates the programmer to use register operable instructions. When interrupt occurs, the programmer can use them. Next, third one is it avoids overwriting of data during register operations. So these are the general purpose register. Now we'll have special function registers. So RAM area from 80H to FFH is reserved for special function register. So these SFR is nothing but the special function register. So this table shows the different special function register used by 8051 microcontroller. Just go through them. So this table shows the special function registers. This is the most important concept from this unit, the internal program memory and the external memory interfacing. So after resetting program counter, it starts from 000H, the vector address from 003, 008, 0013, 001B are reserved for interrupts. The lowest 4 KB of program memory can either be on chip or external ROM. So how external memory is interfaced with 8051 microcontroller? So why does the microcontroller go for the external memory interfacing? So when internal program or data memory is not sufficient, then this can be externally interface. So this requires port 0 and port 2 pins for functioning as an address bus and data bus for external memory. So this figure shows the external program memory interfacing. This topic we have already covered in 6th unit also. Recently we have covered this topic in our 6th unit. So this is external program memory interfacing. So in this, the first block is the 8051 microcontroller and the other block is EPROM. So whenever it is program memory, then it is read only memory. So basically port 0 and port 2 is used for the interfacing purpose. So first, address latch enable is connected to 8-bit latch. External access bar pin is used. Program stop enable is also there. So we need to find out the addresses for the address bus. So port 0, so port 0 and port 2 is used. So basically port 0 is for finding out the lower order address bus, and the P2, that is port 2, is used to find out the higher order address bus. So port 0 and port 1 are dedicated to bus operations during external program memory interfacing. Port 0 serves multiplex bus and which outputs lower order address bytes of program counter, which can be referred as a PCL. Address latch enable activates the latches lower order address to externally connected hardware latch. Lower order address is A0 to A7. Port 2 pin is from A8 to A15, present the higher order address byte of program counter, which can be referred as a PCH. Now 16-bit address is ready for accessing memory locations in the EPROM, and with the help of program stop enable, the code byte is read from the microcontroller. So this is the way to interface the external program memory. Whenever we are talking about the program memory, then always remember that program memory is read only memory, so ROM is referred as a program memory. Now we'll discuss about the external data memory interfacing. So this figure shows the external data memory interfacing. So the left hand section contains 8051 microcontroller and the right hand section contains random access memory. Whenever we are talking about the data memory, then remember data memory is always random access memory, which is read and writable memory. So again it has P0 and P2 ports as usual, but in this it has two additional signals, that is WE and OE. So what is WE? It is nothing but the write enable, and OE is output enable. So how it will work? When the CPU executes from internal ROM, the port 0 serves as multiplex address and data bus for RAM. Now, 3 pins of port 2 are used for addressing A8, A9 and A10 lines of RAM as shown in figure. These 3 pins are used as that is A8, A9 and A10. These 3 pins lines are used to address the RAM. RAM is divided into 8 number of pages with 256 bytes per page. So CPU generates read and write signals required during external RAM, and remaining 5 pins are used as a simple input output port. So